Hello students, how are you all? So we are discussing about the silk and silkworm. Okay, so do you remember what we have studied in the previous class? So you can observe this image for 30 seconds and then I will ask you about the rearing of silkworm. Okay, so you must see all these steps given in this image and also the name of this tree. Yes. Yes, student, what else you can see in this image? Can you please tell me? Okay, students, so basically what we can see here is that in the first section we can see there is a female silkworm with the egg. So the female moth lay the egg. Okay, so where does it lay the egg? Actually, they lay the egg on mulberry leaves, and there only they grow into the larva stage, and that larva is known as caterpillar, or it is known as silkworm. All right, now what will happen? It will feed on mulberry leaf and it will grow in size. But as it is growing in the size, there is some white covering present over this silkworm. All right, and it will form the cocoon on the outer side, and this stage is known as pupal stage. Okay, so in the pupal stage only there is formation of silk, and we have also studied that, students, that we have to stop this stage, okay, so that more and more silk can be obtained, and after that 90 to 95% of pupal stage is led to the death, and only 5% is left over to produce the male and female moth, and then again they can produce egg. So student, this is the complete life cycle and the rearing of silkworm. So now we will study also some of the technical term that is used in the rearing of silkworm. Okay, so student, first of all we will study about the process. Okay, so you can see in this image also the cocoons are placed. Can you see this cocoon? And there are thread like structure which are attached to this bamboo structure. Okay, so these are basically the silk. So these are the cocoon, and at this stage only the cocoons are formed. All right, and then we will derive the silk from the cocoon. Let's study what is given here. How do farmer produces more and more amount of silk? So a female silk moth lays 100 of egg at a time. The eggs are stored carefully on the strip of paper or cloth and sold to the silkworm farmer. So actually the eggs are sold to the farmers so that they can cultivate or grow in their own farm. The farmer keep the egg under hygienic condition. They warm them to suitable temperature for the larva to hatch from the egg. So we all know that for the hatching of the egg there should be appropriate temperature for it. So the larvae are kept in the clean bamboo trays along with young and freshly chopped mulberry leaves. After 25 to 30 days, the silkworm stop eating and start spinning the cocoon. Small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. So here are the some process given here, how it is produced in on the large scale by the farmer. Okay, So we can see here that just after 25 to 30 days, the silkworm stop eating and they start spinning the cocoon. Okay, and then they make more and more amount of white thread like structure, which is known as cocoon. Now see student, the cocoons are collected and boiled in water to kill the insect inside them. The resulting fiber is known as raw silk. The silk fibers separate out. So students, see, whatever cocoons are formed by the farmer, they are directly boiled in the water. So one question is there, do all the cocoons are boiled and all the cocoons are killed to the death? Yes or no? No student, not all the cocoons are kept to boiling water, because some cocoons are left for the development of moth formation. Okay, so because the male and female moth can only produce more amount of egg, and again they can form caterpillar. So some of the cocoons are left and majority of the cocoons are boiled and the insect inside them are killed out. And from here the silk that is produced, that is known as raw silk. Okay, now students, see, the term is reeling of the silk. Now what you can see in this image, reeling of the silk? Can you see there is one machine over here and it is pulling the thread from this cocoon? Can you see it? Yes. See it carefully student, I am giving you 30 seconds. Yes student, so the process of taking out fibers from the cocoon for use as silk is known as reeling of silk. So the fibers are taken out from the cocoon and this process is known as reeling of silk. Reeling is done in the special machine. The silk fibers are spun into the silk thread, which are woven into the silk cloth by the weavers. Clear? So first of all, silk fiber are made and from the fiber they form silk thread. Okay, and from the silk thread they are woven into the silk cloth. So this complete process of taking out the silk from the cocoon is known as reeling the silk. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Once again I can explain you have to listen it very carefully. Yes student, can you see the reeling of the silk? This is done by the machine, and after that there is formation of actually fibers, and from this fiber thread are formed, and from the thread clothes are formed. Now tell me student, the raw silk is obtained by boiling out dash. What is boiled? Is it cocoon, is it pupa, larva, or all of these? What is boiled? I am giving you 30 seconds to answer it. Yes students, so basically the cocoons are boiled so that we can get the silk thread, or we can say silk fiber. Now we will come to the next part, that is known as discovery of silk. So do you remember of which the temple of, this is the temple of which country? Yes, you can think for 30 seconds again. In which country you can see such type of temple? There only the silk was first of all discovered. Yes, student, very good. So we can say that this temple is commonly found in China. So we can generalize this idea that the silk was first of all discovered in China, and there is one story related with the discovery of silk. Now look at this image, student, and these two images more or less depict the story of the discovery of silk. Okay, so once upon a time there was king and queen in the China, and the queen was actually surprised that why the leaf of this plant is dying out, or why there is such pores present in this leaf. Okay, so the servant went on running and they tried to find out uh, what is the reason behind this, why these leaves are being torn out or died out. So the servant found that it is due to the white colored worm that is present on this plant. Okay, white colored worm. And soon what happened, by chance or it was by nature's rule, that this cocoon actually dipped into the tea which the queen was taking. Okay, and this cocoon was inside this tree, inside this tea, and what she saw, there was some type of thread coming out. Okay, so from there the discovery of silk become familiar in the China. So I will start read the point. According to an old Chinese legend, the Empress Shi Tongqi was asked by the Emperor Wang Ti to find the cause of the damaged leaf of mulberry trees growing in their garden. The Empress found white worm eating up mulberry leaves. She noticed that they are being spinning the shiny cocoons around them. Accidentally, a cocoon dropped into her cup of tea, and a tangle of delicate threads separated from the cocoon. Silk industry began in China and was kept a closely guarded secret for hundreds of years. So this secret of formation of silk was kept very secret by the silk industry in the China. Later on, traders and travelers introduced silk to other countries. The route they traveled is still called Silk Route. Okay, so there is one Silk Route through which path it came to different countries. So that is known as Silk Route. Now see what are the activities that is done by the China. So students, see, even today China leads to the world in the silk production. China is only among the leading silk producing countries of the world. In India, a large number of women are engaged in various activities related to the silk product, such as rearing of silkworm, reeling of silk from the cocoons, and processing of raw silk into the fabrics. Okay, so we have studied about the rearing of silk, means we have to how to produce the silk. In the bamboo tray there, and we keep freshly chopped leaves of mulberry leaves, and the reeling is done by some type of machine, and processing of raw silk also. So students, there is one question for you. Discovery of silk was in which country? India, Japan, China, or none of these? I am giving you the 30 seconds to answer this question, and your time starts now. Yes, and so the correct answer would be China. So in the China only there was discovery of silk for the first time. Now, now we will revise all the processes of silk formation as we have done in the previous class also. So see, the larvae are kept in the clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves. About 25 to 30 days, the caterpillar stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin the cocoons. Okay, so for 20 to 30 days, the caterpillar or silkworm eat too much of mulberry leaves that is given by the farmer itself. And after eating too much of mulberry leaves, what they do, they start spinning the cocoons. Okay, so small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to give to which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm spins the cocoon inside, which develops the silk moth. So how it is processed, students? So the pile of cocoon is used for obtaining the silk fibers. The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to the steam. So now we have to remove that thread like structure, so we can keep in the sun or we can keep it in the steam. Okay, the silk fibers separate out. The process of taking out the thread from the cocoon for use as silk is known as reeling of silk. So reeling of silk means to take out the thread from the cocoon. Reeling is done in special machine which unwind the thread or fiber of silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into the silk thread, which are woven into the silk cloth by the weavers. Okay, so now processing of the silk, we have studied that the cocoons are collected and boiled in the water to kill the insect inside them. The resulting fiber is known as raw silk. The silk fiber separates out. The reeling of the silk, the process of taking out the fiber from the cocoon. Okay, so for use as silk is known as reeling the silk. Reeling is done in the special machine. Silk fibers are spun into the silk thread, which are woven into the silk cloth by the weavers. Is it clear? Now you have to answer this question. The process of taking out the fibers from the cocoon for use as silk is known as reeling the silk. So I will give you 30 seconds, student. You have to answer this question. Okay, students, so we have studied also the process of taking out the fibers from the cocoon for use as silk is known as reeling of silk. Yes, of course it is true, and the statement is true. So we have studied about the rearing of silk, okay, and the story about the silk, and we have also revised the section. So now it is your now homework that you have to make a chart to show the rearing of silk, and now you have to paste the picture of different types of silk also. So it's all for today, students. So next day we will again start our next chapter. Till then, thank you and have a nice day to listen to my this lecture. I hope you have understood this very well. So thank you. Bye bye.